Daddy says he's done lots of work on our new house. From the outside, it looks just as bad as last time we were here, so hopefully the inside's a little better. Let's go find out. Say hi, Dada!
Hey, buddy. All right, it's not as bad as it looks, so you just...
Are you sure? Because the front porch looks a little sketch.
Well, it's not that bad. Just
sure?
cover your eyes. I'm sure. Like, just cover your eyes, and I'll show you what I've done. Okay?
I don't trust you.
Just cover your eyes.
All
All right, let's go.
All right, William, let's see it.
All right, here it is. Here's this lovely little home.
Okay, your voice sounds suspicious. I thought you said you've done work in here.
I have. I've done a lot of work.
All right.
What do you think?
It's fantastic!
Really?
It's a disaster. What have you done?
Real talk, where I left you guys off, I was just demoing everything. I was trying to save the walls and whatnot, make it look nice, or leave it where we could just kind of repair it. But the more I tore apart, the more I realized we really just need to rebuild this place. There is a fair amount of mold in the attic. There's a fair amount of mold in the basement. There's a fair amount of mold in the everywhere. There's some windows that need to be reframed. Right here above the fireplace needs to be reframed. Let me turn you guys around and I'll show you where I can see. All right, so up there needs to be reframed. I really like this, that we actually have room. I'm thinking about taking the ceiling up. We can gain about 20 inches of vaulted ceiling here just to make it feel a little bigger, since the ceilings are originally 7-foot ceilings. We have gotten rid of this ugly little bathroom. It took me and 2 guys every bit of a day to get rid of that and tear down the ceiling. So, but there is one problem. The roof is really low, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's black mold on the bottom of that. So that really needs to go. And this area here where we're standing, this little laundry room area wasn't great. It's not real big. So what we're planning on is tearing all this out and adding another room here on the back. So let's go talk with my wife and see what we're gonna do. We have a bunch of other plans for the rest of this, but as far as you need to know right now, we're gonna tear everything out down to the studs and reinsulate, rewire, replumb this whole place. Let's go take a look at what we want to do outside. All right, so we want to redo a bunch of the stuff on the outside. We need to redo the porch, and we're actually looking at taking this wonderful fireplace off just because everything needs to be rebuilt around it. And I don't know if you can see that. It's not great. It's not great. It probably should just be redone anyway. The septic system is still good. We got to do a little bit of repair to that. Thank goodness I have an excavator and knowledge to do it. And then this right here, this is where most of our energy is going to go into. We are going to extend this portion of the house. We're going to keep this extension. This is about 8 feet of extension, and then we're going to add another 14 feet, which is just right over here. The only problem we have is there's an old well right there. So like that might hinder us a little bit. We might only be able to go 12 feet, 13 feet and still have to just use that space in there. But we're not positive. We could always get an engineer to really tell us what to do, because we're gonna have to pull permits to be able to do that. I could, here in South Carolina, I can do a lot of the work myself without pulling permits, as long as it's done right. I mean, we'll just put it this way: I could do the work on the inside because it's my own home without pulling permits, as long as I'm not adding square footage. And that was our plan originally, but it looks like we're gonna have to pull the roof off of this little section and start over anyway. So it's probably gonna be better to pull permits, and then when we go to try to sell this house in the end, it's gonna have the documentation behind it.
Yeah.
So, but what we can do is then we can add a deck over here, a little screened-in porch. There's not a lot of room, but there's enough for a nice little screened-in porch that would go down the edge of this. Our biggest dilemma is this, though. if you want to see down in there, I'll put that in a video. But for now, we'll just leave it a surprise. But yeah, as far as I mean, we could fill it in, but it has to be compacted and whatnot. It's about 40 feet deep. Maybe not that much, might only be 20 or 25 feet, but still, that's a long way, a lot of work to do that. Plus it looks like it's already been filled in a little bit anyway, so that's really our only big dilemma. The rest, there's a little bit of lead paint underneath all this siding, but we can deal with that. What's your thought about this lovely piece of land?
The land itself is just more work.
Yeah.
There's never-ending projects on this little piece of land.
Nope.
It'll be great.
Look at this out here. It drops off out there. Now, I have an excavator and a skid steer, yes, but that's still pretty steep. In lovely chain link fencing and whatnot. But William, what do you think? You like the backyard?
Should we put a swing set back here for you?
Yeah. All right, we can do that.
Extra.
Yeah. So other than just the well being our biggest problem, what's the other thing we've found out for this?
Well, this house is not going to be done by the time we sell our other house. We only have about 3 weeks plus a week of Christmas. So about 4 weeks left in our current house. So we're about to be homeless with a child that's about to
start crawling everywhere.
Crawling. So for safety measures, William and I will not be staying in this house during construction. We're actually going to take a little trip out to Texas to go stay with my parents. We don't get to see them very often, so we're going to take the opportunity to spend some time with them while James here does all the hard work.
Yep. I'm planning to take 4 weeks off of work, with maybe working 1 day a week on some projects I already have lined up. And hopefully we can get this put back together where we can live here and finish it out. But with the addition and everything, we're really adding a couple weeks to our timeline, and it's gonna be worth doing, because like if we bring this out, I can excavate down right here, and we can have a whole storage space the size of this room underneath it for all the utility stuff like water. We can move the electrical panel down here since we're getting permits and everything for anything anyway, so we could move everything down here, rewire everything. It's just going to work out really well if we do that.
It will make it a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. That way William will have his own room.
Yeah, and it'll have a lot of storage underneath, so it's probably worth doing. It's probably how we're going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get my own room.
Yep. So
it's
there's a
cold
lot
out here.
There's a lot more planning to do and a lot more work to do. So until our next episode, this is a Roach Life, and we'll see you next time.